This morning, it's a case being closely watched across the country, and it could have big implications for how we treat those who have faced mental health challenges. Britney Spears' fight to end her conservatorship. The Grammy-winning 39-year-old pop star speaking out in court yesterday, pleading with the judge to end it. NBC's Erin McLaughlin has the details.
This morning, Britney Spears demanding to regain control of her life. Testifying remotely in court Wednesday, the 39-year-old lashed out at her father and the conservators who've managed her care and finances for the last 13 years, calling them threatening and abusive, and saying she's been forced to endure oppressive conditions comparable to slavery. I've lied and told the whole world I'm happy because I've been in denial. I am traumatized. I can't sleep. I'm so angry. I cry every day. Her dad, Jamie, was court appointed as her conservator back in 2008 after Britney was placed in 2 involuntary psychiatric holds following a public breakdown. Now she wants him out, telling the judge he loved the control to hurt his own daughter. 100,000% he loved it. She says he forced her to tour against her will, and when she complained, she was put on lithium. I felt drunk. I told them I was scared. The pop star says her conservators won't let her get married or have more children, even preventing her from removing an IUD. I feel ganged up on, bullied, and alone.
It did not appear that people were listening to her. I think this new judge, however, is taking steps to do exactly that.
Jamie Spears did not speak in the hearing, but his attorney told the judges he's sorry to see his daughter suffering and in so much pain. Mr. Spears loves his daughter and misses her very much. Last year, Britney petitioned the court to have her father removed, which a different judge denied. In the last 13 years, the superstar has released several albums, starred in a TV show, and performed in a hit Las Vegas residency, and now tells the court, if I can work for myself and pay other people, it makes no sense. I just want my life back.
What do we want?
Her fans and other celebrities agree, including her former boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, who tweeted, "We should all be supporting Britney at this time. No one should ever be held against their will or ever have to ask permission to access everything they've worked so hard for."
I need this explained to me. Joining us now, former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance. She's a professor at the University of Alabama Law School and an MSNBC contributor. Joyce, explain to me the type of person, what kind of condition would someone normally be in to have this kind of conservatorship? I would guess it's someone suffering from dementia, someone in a vegetative state, not a 39-year-old woman who's making shows, records, tens of millions of dollars.
That's a really good guess, Steph, and you're exactly right. Conservatorships are typically used for people who are coming to the end of their lives, people with dementia, or people with permanent or long-term cognitive impairment. So Britney Spears' conservatorship was imposed at a point in time where she was struggling. There's been some suggestion that she perhaps suffered from postpartum depression and was going through a difficult point in time. But now, 13 years down the road, it's tough to see, at least based on what we heard from her yesterday, why the conservatorship is still in place. And of course, under California law, there's a provision for terminating a conservatorship. Typically, they terminate automatically when someone dies, but a judge can terminate it if she finds that it's no longer required.
And what are the odds this judge lets her out? I mean, when she did suffer those breakdowns, she was one of the most public people on planet Earth who had been in the public eye since she was a child.
This raises really troubling questions. You can think of so many people who've hit a rough patch in their lives, but they don't suddenly give up control, not just of the money that they're earning, but of intimate decisions like the reporting that she's not permitted to have an IUD removed. So tough to say what this judge will do, but this case deserves a good hard look. Unless there's information that wasn't presented yesterday and hasn't filtered out to the public over the years, it's tough to make a case that this conservatorship should continue.
Joyce, thank you so much. We're going to continue to cover this story.